Hey everybody, this is Karen again from the Little Egg Hatchery, and today I just wanted to cover a little basis on what you use or what we use to hatch our eggs. We know that most of our eggs are fertile. We see the action happening out there, and we have already hatched several dozen eggs of our own from our backyard. And so I just wanted to show you a little bit of the type of incubators that we use, and how, just give you a little bit of tips if you don't know, or which ones are best and which ones you should use or not use, or just different things that we've had issues with, or what we haven't had issues with our incubators. So first we'll start with this one. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. This is the bottom. That is the turner in it, so that if you have one of the styrofoam ones and you didn't buy the egg turner, you have to turn those by hand, and that becomes a real problem. So this one actually rotates the eggs to 3 directions, and it does that every hour and a half to 2 hours, I believe. I think every 2 hours is what it does. So it takes a lot of work out of what you would have to do. We started with a styrofoam one without a turner, with a dozen of eggs that we had ordered that were fertile. So they did not hatch, any of them, but they did form. We did see that. I did autopsy them and look to see what it could have been, and then realized they should have been being turned every 2 to 3 hours probably, and we were only turning them during the day. Nobody was getting up in the night and turning them, and I'm figuring that probably played a role in this. So, but just as a heads up, this is one that my husband bought. It is from A&I Brooders and Incubators, it says on the little motor here, and the outside really doesn't tell me anything more. And this is the lid to it for the outside, and then you can see here that when it gets plugged up, all your numbers will be here, how to set the days. There is a way to stop your eggs from turning. You can cut that off. It will show like it's still going to turn, but it will not turn. But I have learned that it is easier for you to take the eggs on the last days that they need to be still. It would almost be better to take them out of the turner and put them in the bottom of this incubator. Like, you can lift this whole piece out right here. It comes out, and so you would have more of a flat screen piece here. But what you would want to do is maybe put down a paper towel or something in there, maybe even a little towel or something, just to keep their feet from getting stuck in there, because their feet are tiny. But I have found that it would probably be better for them to lay flat to come out of. I have seen some come out perfectly in this incubator, right on their own. And I have seen where they have struggled also because of them being upright, is how I felt. I don't know for sure that's what it is, but that's how we were doing it. So today I'm going to start a process here with you and show you how we do this. And I've got all my eggs here. You can see I've got the incubator, and I've got the eggs, a bunch of eggs, you can see. And these are all Americana, and we are going to start a batch today, and we should be able to do most of those anyways. So we're going to try. That's what we're going to shoot for. So first off, what I'm going to do is I have a syringe, and I have a little Tupperware type Rubbermaid bowl of water. You want to get your water to room temperature. You don't want to put cold or hot in there, so you want to make sure that you do keep it at room temperature. And then I just draw up this syringe. Now let me tell you, we made a mistake and didn't realize that this can overflow, and ruined one end of my table. So I guess that gets me a new table out of this, which would be good. Been wanting one anyways for a while. But you just shoot this down into the middle hole. There is a hole down in the middle, and I'm going to show you. Pick that up and show you right here. Right here is a hole right in the middle, and I'm going to stick my syringe right in there, and then I'm just going to fill it up. Well, this is a 35 cc, so I'm going to start with the 35 cc's. And the reason I'm starting with 35 to begin with is because when we cut it on, we do not want, we don't want the humidity to get so high, because you need to start out with a lower humidity and work yourself up to a higher humidity in the end days of the hatching process. So right now, I can't tell you that all these eggs are fertile for sure. We won't know for 3 days. Once you get them in here in about 3 days, with the heat the way it's supposed to be and the humidity the way it's supposed to be, what will happen is you'll be able to take them out and you'll be able to candle them. And tonight, I will do another video on some that we have, and we will candle them, because they should be either showing signs that they're fertile, because they have been in there for 3 days at least now. And then I know some are extremely are growing, and we can see the growth steps of that. So it's really, really cool process. So anyways, we're going to get you back down so you can see right here. Okay, and so I've got a little water in here, and you want to make sure you can look in here, and you'll want to do that. Now, ours is on a towel. We have a towel folded up, but I can lift this bottom piece up personally, and I can put it right here in the middle. And I'll show you that too. If I lift all of this out, there's lines in here. Let me see if I can't pull it out because the motor is hooked up to it. But there are little rows in here, and the water will run down those rows to meet to the middle, and that humidity will come up through that middle circle. There's other holes in there, or little levels, or pieces that water could go into, but if the water rises above that, it is going to leak out onto your table or whatever. So keep a towel under, just to be sure. You want to do that for sure. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm gonna put one more or a couple more of these in, just because I'm gonna do 35 more cc's, because it didn't look like there was hardly any water in there, and I think that should probably do it to begin with for the hatching of our eggs. So our eggs that we're going to hatch in this one, I like to do them all together, because that way I know that I have all Americana in this one, and then on the next ones I'll know that I have all silkies, and then I'll have all sapphire gems, or whatever the barnyard mix may be at points, or when we have them. I try to keep them together like that. Now, we didn't do that in the beginning, and when we didn't do that in the beginning, I didn't have a clue what they were unless I literally saw them hatch. So that's why I could only sell a few as Americana for sure, because I saw them come out as Americanas. Or they lay what some people call Easter eggers, because they lay colored eggs. The next thing you're going to want to do when you're doing this, sorry about that, is you're going to want to, you're going to want to make sure that your egg, if you can look at this one, it is going to be a little more pointy at one end, and then it's going to be a little more round on the bottom. You're going to want to take the point side and put it down in the machine. You do not want the fatter side, or that end, to be on the bottom, because they need that space for their air bubble and all to be able to, the way it'll form, so that they will be able to breathe and live and take in the yolk before they're born. So I am going to, a lot of times I'll take a mark on them so I can make sure they're in the right way, but I will go and do that after, because while we're doing this now, you'll see that I'm going to be laying them that way. So take it off me for a minute and put it here so you can see. And I am going to just start by placing them down. As you can see, this is a little more pointed, so it's going to go down in here, and we're going to do each one of these in here like that. And I probably have more eggs than I'm going to actually be able to do. See, this one's more rounded all the way across, so that's going to make it a little bit harder. I've heard that if they're a little more pointy, that it's going to be a rooster if it's a little more pointy on the top. If it's more round, it's probably a hen. That's just one way some people tell it, so it's kind of hard to see which way, but I can kind of make it out here. So we're going that way. And then we'll try to do this as quickly as we can to get them all lined in. Make sure the points are down. And I'll go in and dot them later on my own time, because I don't want to bore you with that. However, I may be boring you with this now. But as we get them in, see that this one's more pointy and it's longer, so I'm not really sure how that one got that shape, but you know, you'll find all different shapes in your eggs sometimes too. This one looks like to be more pointy. Well, we may just have enough to hold all of these. I wasn't thinking we would, but oh, it's almost a cream color. But also, what you want to do is it's gonna have a fan motor that's gonna blow in here to keep the temperature circulated. We have found a lot of people advise this, and we highly recommend it also, is just once you get what you think your temperatures, you know, should be, what your machines read, and once it gets to the normal temps, then you get a little thermometer, which you can get at Tractor Supply or something like that. We will have some more Americana eggs to put in here soon, but you can get, as you can see, we do have this many Americana eggs right now, so we've got a good start, and I do have lots of other eggs that we could be hatching, but I do not have any more Americana right this second. So for the last couple of days, they've actually slowed down on their hatching for a bit. But this is Producer's Pride. This is a thermometer that was bought, a brooder thermometer that was bought at Tractor Supply. Don't remember the cost. But sometimes you may just want to take and lay that inside. Like we can lay it on the side where there is, you can see where there's no eggs. So I will lay it on that side, because we want to make sure that the correct temperature is being used between this and between what the system is actually reading. And once we get this started, then it will start turning, and we will start it out that way. So the only other thing I would tell you is that what we do is we get the temperature up to, we keep it at around 99.5 throughout most of the process for us. It's worked fine for ours. And then we keep our humidity levels, we keep them between 40 and 50, but I really like to see it 45 to 50. Somewhere in between there is really good through the beginning process, so for your first 18 days. Now once you've gone through your first 18 days, then you're going to want to get that humidity up to about, says 70 to 80. Once you've stopped the machine from turning, the turner, once you've stopped it, they'll need to sit still for the last 3 days, and that humidity level will need to rise to 70 to 80. We keep ours more between 70 to 75, but we usually get it up. In this machine, we usually can get it up to 73 or 74 easily. But anything above that, it takes a lot on this machine, and it leaks water, and you know, if it's not quite right or level. So that's what we do with that. So that is how we do this to begin with. After 3 days of running this, if you want to make sure that you did get fertile eggs and that everything is working out right, you will be able to candle these and look at them in 3 days. And this machine, or particularly this incubator, does not have it does not have a candle and light on it. But my husband was so nice and surprised me with a gift one, because I tried to make my own, and I am not very creative when it comes to some of those things. And everything I did still would not let me look into the egg the way I properly wanted to. So that was a problem. And so I could still see, but I like to see everything. I am a nosy mom, and you can ask my kids that. So I want to be all up in your business and know everything that's going on all the time. So I wanted my own candle and light, and he did purchase me that, and I will show you that when we do the next episode this evening on kindling on my other system that we have. So this system will be up and running. I will review and show you how it's turning, or how it's listed with numbers and everything, in just a little while, or back this evening. And then I'm going to go on to show you our Nurture Right 360 incubator that we use, that we've had very much success in also with our eggs. So a lot of the eggs I looked at last night are not actually fertile on the outside, or they weren't as of last night. And I think last night might have been day 3. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not willing to give up on my babies quite yet. So we will look at those again this evening, and we will do a video on that. And you can see the growth process, or see what it looks like when it starts to be, when it begins its fertilization. It has to be warm or in an incubator for 3 days. You cannot just pick up an egg that was laid outside and candle it and see that, yeah, that's fertile, or no, it's not. If you can, comment below. You may have a way to do it. I've not seen it. At times I've thought I've seen a little bullseye looking thing in there, but with the most of the colors of our eggs, it's really hard to see. So, but we hopefully will be able to see something in these tonight. So if you will join us back this evening for another video, you will be able to find us on Facebook on the Little Egg Hatchery page. You will also find us as a sublink. We're on YouTube under Will's World podcast and audio channel. We're sublinked under that on home farming. Also, you can find it under another page on Facebook under The Way We See It with Will and Luke. They have their own page. I also want to tell you that they are doing podcast on Spotify, and it's under Will's World and podcast, and they were just announced and approved and are now set up on Apple Podcast as Will's World under William Marsh. I think it's how it says, or it's William or Will Marsh, but you'll be able to see it. So we are kind of linked together here some. We do the chicken part of it, the hatchery part, but there will be a lot more on all different kinds of things that you'll see on his page. But on the Facebook link, the Little Egg Hatchery, you will strictly see pretty much just this on our hatchery process and with our animals. So please like, subscribe on all of those. Comment, please. If you know of a better way of doing something than what I've done. Again, we are learning. We have only been doing this since November. And when I say November, I mean my son came home with a couple of chickens in November. And that's what we started with. And it has outgrown our backyard almost. So, plus they're now in my building. And now they're in my kitchen on the table. So they're taking over a lot. It is addictive. You love them. You name them. You do what you need to do with them. But we, at some point, will be selling eggs probably. Definitely fertilized eggs. But at this moment, I'm hatching all of the babies that I can because I want to grow our farm and our business. And we are selling fertilized eggs, and we are selling baby chicks. So we have several baby chicks. If you saw the video from last night, and they're doing great. And we even posted on Facebook of Hayden and Holden, who came over and purchased their little chicken, thinking Easter. But they posted their pics on there, and they were so cute, and they loved it, and they were so excited, and we were so excited to be able to help them start their own little chicken family, I guess you could say. And I hope that you would be willing to give us a try. And if you have any questions, comments, please do that. You can also send us an email to the Little Egg Hatchery at yahoo.com. And that does it for today. And we will do another one tonight. And blessings to all. Have a great evening.